I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body.
So, with that, I wanted to get into our final topic here. Hopefully we'll get through it quick enough, because a lot of people have discussed this, and it's about the brouhaha around the Little Mermaid teaser that was thrown out a couple weeks ago.
I've heard about it. Have never even watched the trailer.
It's not even a trailer. It's just a teaser. That's all it is.
I don't like any live action Disney stuff except for Pinocchio was pretty okay. Other than that, I haven't liked any of the live action stuff. So I don't give a crap if she's purple with pink polka dots. It's not going to be as good as the cartoon.
Yes. So that being said, the obvious big thing about it is what I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it before, that she's now played by a young black girl, Halle Bailey, and she has red-ish dreadlocks, not just flowing red hair. And she was brought in because she can sing like a motherfucker. So good. But I am in agreement with people who say that basically if there's been a really solid representation of a character and you're redoing that exact same character, then you should stick with that representation. Now, if you want to do a completely new interpretation, cool. Change it up and see where things lie. Just know that I also feel that there is a slight double standard when it comes to Hollywood in these things.
Absolutely. 1000% agree.
So
name all the white voice actors that worked on the live action Lion King movie.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Nope, I said live action.
Oh, live action. Okay, sorry.
Okay, and
one that's not even live action, but yes. I don't actually know the cast. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well, right off the top, it's Beyonce and Childish Gambino do Simba and.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. I forgot who was on.
My point to it is this.
Yeah.
I have no issue with that because here's the thing: Lion King is based on an ancient African tale.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Macbeth.
Little Mermaid is based on a Finnish folklore. Now, I have never been to Finland, so I'm gonna go ahead and pre-state that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna take a shot in the dark and say, if I go there, the natural form of people that are Finnish,
say it in plain English.
Been
Ricky.
there forever. Are white, blonde-haired, and blue-eyed, and probably don't like my people very much.
Pretty sure they're really pale, if we're honest here.
That's what I'm going with.
Yeah.
So
rainy northern Europe area.
If you want, I'm okay with representation, but it falls under the same thing. We had a comic discussion about representation.
Yep.
Don't take somebody that already exists and change it to what you want it to represent.
Yeah.
Make your own. And I don't mean that as in our stuff's better than yours or all stuff should be kept separate.
No.
None of that horse shit. I think there should be more stories because I've read a whole book on African folklore and tales that have been told. And some of them are really fucking deep and really fucking interesting. But the only one we have is Lion King.
Yeah. So I want to point out something else though, since we're on that. There were, if I recall correctly, there were dark-skinned and/or black mermaids in The Little Mermaid, the Disney cartoon.
But they were shown as being evil.
No. I'm saying like they were just part of the city of Atlantis.
You mean in the cartoon?
Yeah.
In the cartoon? Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. So the funny thing is like they, even within their own cartoon lore, dark-skinned mermaids existed. Now, I find, just side note, I find Matt Walsh's take on it to be far more hilarious because he said, realistically, Ariel wouldn't be white. She would be translucent because most things that live at the bottom of the ocean don't have any skin pigmentation and wouldn't be able to handle sunlight at all. So
she'd look like a jellyfish.
She'd look almost see-through. And the memes around that particular comment have been hilarious, where they're making her like an anglerfish. Or completely see-through, but still in the bikini and whatnot, and you like even see like something swimming around in her belly. But like, I grew up on another version of The Little Mermaid as well. I had an animated Little Mermaid, not made by Disney, that wasn't a different story.
Talking about like the 20-minute long
yeah, it
one,
wasn't feature length, yeah. And I grew up on that. And then there's also Ponyo, which is sort of there from Studio Ghibli.
That's like the same ones that not the Ponyo, but the other one you're talking about. That's the same ones that made like the old Hobbit and the old Return of the Kings, like those styles.
Yes, it's animated super different.
Yep.
But it was also a bit of a different story. Wasn't the same. It's similar, but no Ursula, none of that
closer
nonsense.
to the actual Hans Christian Andersen story.
Yes, the actual fairy tale. Okay, so all of that, actually, since Rob didn't really pipe in, do you have feelings on that in particular? Just the changing of skin color and all that?
Absolutely not. Not from my perspective. Like, it's no.
It's going to be a dumb movie regardless because it's live action.
Okay, so
that part I agree with.
Just kind of pulling it back for a second. So I wound up inadvertently, because of children, rewatching the live action Lion King. And aside from way too much Beyonce, it actually was fairly enjoyable on the second watch around. So I feel like these live action reduxes of what we had during the 1980s, 90s of Disney vaultage is fine if they want to do it and reintroduce kids to what we grew up with, but in a different format. That's fine. I have absolutely no problem with them.
But we're not going to enjoy it because we're comparing it. Yeah,
that's the problem. Stop comparing it. It doesn't need
but
to
then
be
stop.
compared.
But then stop remaking the same fucking
entertaining.
movie.
Okay, well, it doesn't need to actually be entertaining.
So
if you don't want people to compare the two things to each other, stop remaking the same fucking movie over and over.
Yeah.
Okay. This is also the curse of media. This is the curse of media, Ricky.
Yeah.
We are doomed to repeat ourselves over and over.
Because Hollywood is out of ideas, anyways.
That's exactly right. That's one of the biggest problems.
That's the core problem.
So
everything's either a regurgitated remake, or it's a 30 years too late fucking sequel, or it's a 50 years too late fucking prequel. Nobody fucking cares.
Built in the same universe, or it's built on the same premise.
Yeah.
Just stop that shit. I know it made you $1 billion back then, but that doesn't mean it's gonna make you $1 billion now. Y'all need to fucking relax. The Bill and Ted thing, I still haven't watched it, and I used to love Bill and Ted.
And by the way, as you said, I'm not even really a fan of these live action remakes. And by the way, I'm not calling the Lion King live action because the entire movie is CG. It's just a fancy cartoon on that point. The Beauty and the Beast wasn't bad, but it had really had its flaws. The Aladdin,
I do like that new song they added though. Yeah. The one the
new song was good.
The Beast sang.
Yeah,
I love that song. I've never watched the Aladdin. I couldn't force myself to fucking do it.
From what I've seen of it is so bad. I don't want to have anything to do with it. Also, I'm throwing in The Last Airbender in this argument, even though it's not Disney. Atrocious. Let's just not even go there. That just never need to happen. And then the Netflix version is slow rolling its life. But like, even if they got Ariel quote unquote right, I still wouldn't give a shit. I mean, I might appreciate it more, but I'm also not gonna care that much. I just would want it to be good because the original was good. And I feel like the biggest problem they have is they want to make changes, or they want to update shit, or they want to push a message if they want to do that. It's like the old movie already pushed a message. Push that same message. It's like you don't need to give us an updated whatever bullshit message.
It's like live action Aladdin too. The live action Aladdin was quite like that.
Oh, they did a lot in there.
Change to make it a different.
That was Jasmine's movie, not Aladdin's movie, from what I've seen.
Bingo.
They made it a Jasmine movie, and just give Jasmine a movie. It's like if they want to do that, Jasmine is a fleshed out character.
They gave Jafar his own movie with the Return of Jafar. They might as fucking well have given Jasmine her own.
No. They episode 9 that one. Anyways, I don't even think that's canon. I think that is not canon, but
what, Return of Jafar?
Yeah, I think they've said just sort of pushed it over there. They said but they kept in King of Thieves.
And I thought King of Thieves. King of Thieves was.
No, I'm just saying that
King of Thieves.
No, but I'm saying in the same way. Episode 9, episode 8. It's just like
I don't know what episode 9 you're talking about. So
Episode 9 of Letterkenny. Anyways,
Okay.
by the way, those seasons are real short, Ricky. They're 6 or 7 episodes per season.
You
So
don't have to upsell it to me. I'll
no,
check
no,
it
no.
out.
I'm telling you that
it.
so that 10 seasons doesn't sound daunting. It's only 6 or 7
10
episodes.
seasons doesn't scare me. You're talking to a guy who's rewatched Game of Thrones multiple times. 10
Yeah,
seasons
I know.
doesn't scare me on shit.
But it's not an hour-long show either. It's a 22-minute show.
I'm saying it doesn't scare me. I've watched
Listen,
all of
it. If you can make it through MASH multiple times.
So
I've watched it through Big Bang multiple times from beginning to end.
I still haven't seen all of it.
And that was 12 seasons.
Yeah,
so.
I still haven't seen all of that. Okay, so I wanted to get to my real point about the Little Mermaid thing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a question to everyone in here.
All 2 of us.
Well, not just you, everybody listening. And I posted a picture in our discussion to reference what I'm talking about. Halle Bailey. I keep resisting the urge to say Halle Berry.
Mm-hmm.
Her eyes are really far apart. And I realized this. I was like, because they show her at a different angle in the thing, and then she looks up basically straight at the camera. I was like, oh. And then I've seen pictures of it. I was like, oh. And I don't like to be that way when it comes to people's appearances, but when something is a little odd, you can't help but notice it. And I think it started with a few other actresses back in the day, but the biggest one in modern history that I would think of who also suffers from a similar issue and is odd looking, yet pretty, is Anya Taylor-Joy. So you can see her in the pictures I shared there. And it's starting to feel like Hollywood is kind of bringing on more people who are a little odd looking.
To say I'm not going to have much to say on this because this is a little too close to phrenology, and there is reasons why I am not okay with phrenology.
No, I get that. I'm not saying there's anything. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them. Like,
but
I'm saying they look weird.
Done by it.
There's
some kind of study.
No, it's actually a thing. There's a thing. Yeah. Damn it, I looked it up earlier and I got
with the bisection of the face and how everything.
No, there's there's a word for this when the eyes are too far apart, and it's not necessarily a developmental thing. I mean, people are just people. It's fine. I mean, we also saw what the new Predator looked like, but
I'm betting like the movie people, because it's so based on it's not just
here's the actual term
anymore.
for it.
It's also based on them planning ahead of time how social media is going to handle stuff and all that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm betting they got somebody who studies and goes, people really like it when your eyes are 1.25 inches away from each other. That seems to be everybody's favorite. They're like statistically studying this to death, and they're choosing shit like that on purpose. So I guarantee you there's some kind of study.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
that goes back. That actually goes back a couple years to the thigh gap bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, there's also
being made a big point.
So, speaking of another gap, apparently we'll just say that Hollywood has a gap issue. So, so there's a lot of actors who have pretty large gaps in their teeth, like their front teeth, and they're like mainstream. Like they start putting them in everything. So, the actual term
usually pointed out, like they usually do a zoom in pan on them motherfuckers to
make sure you know. Yeah. So there's a term. The actual term for too large of a distance between any organs or body parts, like just it could be anything. It's called hypertelorism. And yeah, there is some of the actual like syndromes and stuff related to this are developmental syndromes, but in this case, this is not a developmental thing necessarily with these ladies I've used as their example. It's just that they happen to have eyes that are really far apart, and like now people who have eyes way too close together, it also looks odd. Let's be honest here. It's just, what is it, the golden rule, as it were? What's that? Golden ratio, not rule. And it does
golden
apply.
Ratio is not that.
Well, no, it's applied to it.
That's the Fibonacci sequence.
Yeah, the Fibonacci sequence applies to this stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
It does. It's like not. It just depends on how you're applying it, but it's just I noticed it. It's one thing when it's Anya Taylor-Joy, who has been lead in TV shows, movies, and everything.
And her eyes look like they should be on the side of her head like a flounder.
Exactly. So it's like, but she's not ugly.
Yeah,
but
at all.
It's
like,
but it's cute. Strange. Like it's just like, okay. It's like, mind you, I'm not the best looking dude. I'm gonna be honest here. But
he's not lying, y'all.
yeah, I mean, I have a nice beard, but that's, I don't have much else going for me.
Tell us more. Spend an episode.
Spend the whole episode talking.
A whole special episode about how you're not a good-looking dude.
Let's have a whole episode about how ugly each of us are in our own ways.
Well, mine's a short clip. Yes. I'm sexy.
Yeah, all of you are sexy.
Don't believe me, ask my wife.
Yeah, whatever. So either way, I just wanted to bring that up because frankly, I am tired of hearing about the racial stuff because one, it's a lot. I want to talk about how they're weird looking, not just the fact that their skin color is weird. I was like, could you not get somebody whose eyes were
on that skin tone is not weird.
No, that's what I said. They're weird looking. I don't care what their skin tone is.
Okay.
It's not about their skin tone being off. It's about their eyes being too far apart, yes. or they've got a wonky hand. Or who was it that has
huge ass earlobes? Is one.
Oh, that too. That's another one. No, what is it? Megan. What's her face with the toe thumb?
Don't get me started on the caterpillar eyebrows.
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox has the crazy toe thumb or whatever it is.
Yes. And then the eyebrow thing, that's like a new thing where everybody has the
thick ass caterpillar
eyebrows. Yes. Ugh. Eyebrows have gotten ridiculous. Like, it's funny how we have strange new beauty standards. Some of them are coming back around, I feel, but other ones are like
just watching. I was watching a show and it's the chick who plays Enchantress is in it. That Only Murders in the Building.
Oh.
The season 2, the lesbian art dealer, that's the Enchantress.
Yeah.
And she has those caterpillar eyebrows. And she's like, if you just block like that part, like if you put your hands up and block being able to see that, she is beautiful. But as soon as you open your hands up and you see them fucking fuzzworms laying on her forehead, it drives me I can't not stare at them.
I don't know the cast.
It's like enough.
Cara Delevingne.
The Suicide Squad.
Cara Delevingne.
Cara Delevingne.
Yeah. She's another one who does look odd, but like she's also
it's those fucking eyebrows. I'm telling you, dude. It's like you remember Austin Powers with the don't say anything about the mole.
Don't say anything about the mole.
Dude, that's how I feel about her eyebrows. Like you're not supposed to stare at them, but that's all I can fucking look at is her goddamn eyebrows.
Hold on, let me look up this actress real quick, and it's another one that. But I can't remember her name, so I'm trying to remember.
Look her up in Only Murders in the
No. I looked. The reason I found that is I knew who you were talking about. Give me just a second. Let me look up this actress name real quick because it's escaping me.
Which, by the way, Dormammu, thanks for making sure I got onto that one because my wife and I love that show.
Another actress from years ago that is a little odd looking but pretty, and it is down to her eyes, was Amanda Seyfried.
Yep.
Yeah.
Seyfried.
So Seyfried. Either way. So, but like I think like she's changed her look a little bit after people started really pointing it out.
Emma Stone is another one. There's something off about her face.
It's also her eyes.
Adorable.
It's her eyes.
Shit, but is that what it is?
It's her eyes. They're far apart.
It's really weird. It's like the Game of Thrones things we talked about earlier. You lock on this one thing and it just makes it all kind of look off. But she's not ugly. It's just off.
Which, by the way, I wanted to mention when you were talking about that actress that you're referring to in House of the Dragon. Do you know what her name is?
Muckman?
Millie Alcock.
Looks like she could take all the cocks in her fucking huge ass trap, man.
I know, that's what I was gonna get to that joke, but you didn't get through it.
No, I got the joke. I was
just but I'm getting like when you were talking about it earlier, I was I was trying to slip it in, so to speak, and
yeah, you were,
and I didn't get a chance to, so I've been holding on to that for all this time. And one last tiny bit of news I wanted to drop before we go because we have to go. You guys have to really go, and I've got a lot of work to do.
I gotta drive through the storm to baseball practice.
Yeah, and I have to edit the podcast we recorded the other day to get it out tomorrow while filming other things. So
why don't you do this one for tomorrow and then save that one for the bonus?
Because that one will take no time to edit. This one will take a long time to edit. So slight update on the Alec Baldwin case. District attorney in I believe it's in Arizona, is looking to bring charges against Alec Baldwin and 3 other people from the shooting of that woman.
The dude on the Rust movie or whatever.
Yeah. So it could be we see a major Hollywood name actually get charged with homicide. Like they're not calling it murder. It is homicide.
It'll say it's accidental.
Yeah, but I think the problem is looking after the more and more investigations, it's looking less and less like it was an accident.
And I think it's New Mexico. New Mexico.
Yeah, I keep thinking it was Arizona, but it might be New Mexico. You're right. But either way, I saw that earlier. Like they've been talking around it, but nobody said anything. But this just came out earlier today. I posted the article. So like 3 other people. I don't think it names the people just yet, but I'm going to guess that it's going to be the armorer and at least some other people on the production who would have been responsible for making sure that gun did not have bullets in it.
I think that's going a bit too far. And
well,
I think it's dumb because they never tried to arrest and lock up the guy who accidentally shot Brandon Lee. They never made it. In his death was an accidental homicide on set with a gun that was misloaded. Like I think it's dumb. It's
actually
too much. We have to make something new in the news, and we have to make a splash and draw attention.
Brandon Lee was killed with it wasn't with a bullet. It was with a blank that got lodged.
It was the wadding that was stuck in there. Got blown out.
Yeah, it got blown out. So that was a true accident. That's a true accident. That was
this
not
is a true accident.
This was a an actual bullet loaded in a gun that was not supposed to have real bullets in it.
He didn't know it was a real gun. He didn't know it was a real bullet. He's an actor on a set. He's being handed a gun and told to shoot at that guy. His job is to point the gun and pull the trigger.
No,
the other guy's
that's not how that works.
Sure it's a fake one.
No,
that is how that.
There are.
You think everybody
on an actual Ricky? Hold on, before you go on this rant. Every single person in the chain of custody of that weapon, from the moment it is pulled out of its case to the moment it goes back in its case, has to check, from the armorer to the set person, possibly even to the director who's there, and the actor are all supposed to check the weapon before it is remotely
How
used.
Is an actor looking at that going to know the difference?
Because the actor,
whether it's real or fake.
Because
they're actors.
Well, the whole point.
Because
he's been trained on weapons. He's been trained on weapons.
Basics. Like you and I know.
He shot like 15 movies when using guns.
We've talked about guns. You and I know about guns. We've had a conversation about it. All right. So compared to like, let's say my neighbor who doesn't do guns, would be able to look at a bullet and tell you whether it's a real bullet or whether it just looks like a real bullet. Because I'd be able to pick it up and know the differences. Somebody who's not well versed in stuff like that would not. Not know the difference.
So the armorer with 15 years of experience.
That person does. That's what I'm saying. Alec Baldwin is the name. Alec Baldwin is the money.
It went through her. Mm-hmm. It should have gone through at least one other person from her.
A prop person.
It should have gone.
Armorer.
Yeah. And the armorer is the person who's supposed to hand it to the actor. And the actor is also responsible for checking the weapon, just like you or I would be if we were handed a gun legally in a place where we're going to be firing it.
They're going to check and make sure there's nothing in the barrel. They're going to learn from the lesson, like with Brandon Lee. They're going to make sure they look down the barrel, make sure it's empty. I see it. Let's just say it's a revolver. Okay. Yeah. I see the firing pins. The bullets are all in there. There's nothing down the barrel. That's the end of my responsibility. Yeah. I don't have to pop the bullets out and take them to pieces and make sure there's no gunpowder in them. That's not my job.
Yeah, but blanks don't look like real bullets. That's the thing.
Have you seen some blanks nowadays? I've seen blanks that
I've seen like props, but the thing is, I think it wasn't even. Depending on the story you're looking at, it wasn't even supposed to be blanks. It was supposed to be dummies. It wasn't even supposed to fire. But
that's what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, it's not on him. He's just the name and the money. It's
but
the
point is,
situation.
he's not responsible for murder.
Is that
he was holding the gun that killed someone. He's still responsible for homicide.
The responsibility does fall into his hands.
But then that means the guy from The Crow needs to be arrested because he was the one holding the gun. He was the one that pulled the trigger. It does not matter if it was wadding.
And I'm sure it went to court.
But I'm sure it didn't, because that guy went through all kinds of therapy. I've watched whole things on him before. Like he still
killed someone, whether or not he's liable on that. But the other problem with this whole thing is that she and he were already at odds.
Mm-hmm.
They were having according to on-set things, they were currently having an argument, and whether or not he knew that was a real bullet in that gun, he also claims he never pulled the trigger, that the gun just went off, even though it was even though the FBI just came out and said, by the way, that gun absolutely was fired by pulling the trigger. Either way, the case is looking worse and worse for him, but the point is, I'm just happy that someone will be held responsible for this woman's
I think the
death.
right person should be responsible. I don't think the big name and the one with the deep bank pockets.
That's why they named 4 other people along the way. So all of those people are also responsible.
Name? What's the armorer's name?
I don't know her name offhand,
What's the
but
prop
it has been
person's
out
name?
there.
What her name is.
They've put
What's
her
the prop person's name?
I don't know, but they've put those people
But you
out
know
there
Alec
already.
Baldwin's name, right? But you know Alec Baldwin's name, right?
But what I'm telling you is
That's
they've put
point,
their
they're
names
using
out there,
his
but
name.
but the fact that I don't know their names isn't on them because they've talked about them repeatedly. She came out and said that would never happen on my set. That should have never happened. When this all happened in the first place, the armor was all over the place. Like her name was out there, everything. You know, just because I don't know it doesn't mean anything. People know it.
So her saying it definitely didn't happen because I would never allow that to happen on my set.
No, it's saying it shouldn't have happened. And but there's also all the reports from the scene where, well, the set was a piece of shit. The production was a piece of shit. People were out there firing the guns after hours, which they should not have been doing. And so whether or not bullets were mixed in when they shouldn't have been mixed in, all of that comes down to the chain of custody and the way. So the point is nothing was done correctly in this case. Not to mention,
no, her name is Hannah Goodyear.
Oh, it's Hannah. That's right.
But
I know
that
it was
wasn't
Hannah.
my point.
No, but
you're right. Ricky.
I know what I get what you're
focuses
saying
on him because of the popularity of the actor.
Yeah, but he's
that pushes the narrative.
But he's the one. But he's the one who pulled the trigger.
But he's the one who pulled the trigger on a fake prop gun, what he thought was loaded with a fake bullet.
No, he pulled the trigger on a real gun.
Hold on. This is where you're getting it wrong, Ricky. There's no such thing as a fake prop gun.
No. There is such a thing as a prop gun. Yes,
I understand.
However,
but you have to have no firing pins and all that bullshit.
Everything.
Yes, I get it.
Yeah,
I understand. Again, I know about.
I know you know this.
Yeah,
I know you know this.
So,
but what I'm trying to say is, he was picking up a gun for he's an actor on set using a gun for this movie. How is he responsible for the fact that there's a bullet in that chamber and not the armorer who should made sure there's no real bullets anywhere around this fucking gun?
Because you're supposed to pay attention even when you're an actor to having something that is
just
if I hand you a gun and put it in your hand, you're telling me you could pop the barrel and you would know just by looking at it whether those are real bullets or not in there without doing anything more to it than just looking.
The thing about it is there are safety precautions that are supposed to be taken on set, and this is
the
where
actor. That's what I'm saying.
They don't stop at the actor. The actors are also responsible too because they're not supposed to check. They are supposed to confirm, and when they're handed a weapon, the armorer says weapon is free.
Clear. Weapon is free. Whatever.
It's clean.
Weapon is clean.
Yeah.
Right.
Actor confirms weapon is free. Weapon is clear. It's like being on a gun range.
I understand how all the steps work, my
so,
point to you is that
if
he says if the armorer says this is a good gun to use, boom, there's the gun.
Yeah.
Actor says, okay, I have the gun. Director says, okay, now shoot that person, and he shoots that person, and a real bullet comes out of it. How is that his fault? He followed procedure, which was to say,
responsibility and culpability are two separate things. Responsibility.
But I'm saying he's only going to be responsible because of his name and his money. That's why I'm trying to say.
No,
I'm not saying he didn't pull the trigger. I'm not saying he did not pull the trigger.
People have gone to jail for worse.
Though, because he was the one that was footing part of this bill, and they didn't have the safety precautions that they needed.
Yeah.
Is his movie.
Again? It still falls down to the Mike.
You should have.
It still falls down to the Mike Vick argument. Mike Vick went to prison, lost his entire football capabilities, all that for the dogfighting rink and all that, and he had nothing to do with it. The only thing he had to do with is he bought the house for his cousin that his cousin was holding the dogfighting rinks in. So
it's a hard correlation.
Yeah. His name was on the paperwork, therefore he went to fucking prison and lost millions of dollars, and his entire career was over.
Yeah, but
I'm not saying that people didn't do something wrong. I'm saying people are focusing on the wrong person. The start and finish of it is that armorer was at fault, because I can't expect an actor to be at the same level of intelligence with weapons as a fucking armorer.
Okay, but you're going with intention versus action. The point is he killed her. It's not that he did it on purpose. He killed her. Regardless,
his action was to pick up the gun, point it at her, and pull the trigger. Bang!
Okay.
She dies. That's the movie. He
Okay,
did his actions like he was supposed to. He didn't put the real bullet in there.
Here's the argument. Bartenders who overserve people, who kill people drunk driving, go to jail.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So the drunk driver
also
goes to jail.
But
the drunk driver goes to jail too.
But the person who built the car didn't go to jail. Because
the person who built the car wasn't the one responsible. The person who basically turned it into a weapon is responsible.
Which would be the armorer.
And then the person who actually killed someone goes to jail.
Because they went out of their way to do something that they know could kill
somebody. He fired a gun at someone.
A fake bullet. He fired what he thought was a fake bullet at somebody.
He fired a gun that killed someone. Intention is irrelevant. The point is,
that's not true because your argument was intention.
No,
your argument was just
because
intention.
they're not charging him with murder. They're charging him with homicide. A person who gets into a
car drunk is intentionally driving drunk. So,
but they don't mean to kill anyone. You don't get in the car to go murder someone. You intend to drive home. The fact that you killed someone is incidental to your state of being. But the fact that, so the bartender is responsible for overserving the person. The person who killed someone or some people is responsible.
Vehicular homicide.
The manufacturer of the vehicle is not responsible unless there was somehow an actual failure of the vehicle.
So then at most driving. Here he gets accidental homicide. That's the most that should happen to him.
Unless they prove intent, which given the situation, there might be some intent. But that's where they have to charge him and take him to court to actually bring this out, because there's
at
too
the end
much.
of the day, let's say they charge him and he gets convicted for accidental homicide because no intent, it was accidental, blah blah blah. His is the only name going to be dragged. It's going to be his career fucked up. It's going to be his millions of dollars that have to go for reparations to the family. It's not going to be Hannah Montana, the armorer.
No, she'll go to jail too, or at least have to pay out or her career is going to be over regardless because she's responsible
she has job
too.
Insurance or whatever.
Nobody's saying she's not important.
She's going to go on and do something else. What's Alec Baldwin going to do if
she's already been drugged
and say he's a murderer?
But she's already been drugged.
But she's just going to go do something else. She'll go get a job at McDonald's. Okay. Alec Baldwin go get a job at McDonald's. How's that play out?
It doesn't matter.
You see what I'm saying?
But the point is someone has to be held responsible.
The armorer.
Okay. And?
The armorer allowed a real bullet into that gun.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, handed it to an actor and said it was free and clear to use. That makes it the armorer's fault, not Alec Baldwin's fault.
But he still pulled the trigger. Which he claimed he didn't do. Hold on. The problem is, had he not talked to anyone, he'd probably be in the clear. But the fact that he did interviews where he said, I did not pull the trigger in a very angry way, where he insisted, I didn't pull the trigger. It was a gun failure. It was a fake gun. It should have never happened in the first place. So the fact that he argued that he never pulled the trigger when he clearly did. And the fact that
it could have been a slip.
And also, here's the important thing we're all ignoring. And most people have. This happened on film.
Mm-hmm.
We can see.
So it's very easy.
We can see 100% how this went down.
If Alec Baldwin's like, fuck you, bitch, I wish this gun was real, and pulls the trigger and she dies, then he's culpable.
What he yelled actually was, is this what you want? And then he pulled the trigger.
Was that the line from the movie?
Nope. What they were trying to do,
in a whole bunch of trouble.
What they were trying to do was capture a scene where he was shooting at someone, but the camera was in front of him, more or less, to capture the shot. Like, that's all they were doing. Except the problem was, like, apparently he was pissed off because they made him do it over and over and over and over, and he just wanted to move on. But apparently he wasn't getting it right. So maybe they shot it 12 times, and all of those were blanks. And after a reload, it happened to be a real bullet.
Okay, so then how is he responsible?
Well, here's the other thing.
Say he did that.
But here's the other thing.
Whole chamber of blanks, hands it to the armor. They reload it, hand it to him. He starts firing her again, and 1 out of those 6 shots was a real bullet. How is that on him and not the armorer?
Only because he pulled the trigger.
He's been pulling the trigger. You just look, man. We just said he pulled the trigger 12 times. 1 of them was a real bullet.
Yeah.
How is that his fault? He didn't put the real bullet in there. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's acting as a guy with a gun shooting somebody, asking for direction. So this is what you want? He's asking for direction on how he wants this recorded. How you want me to look? How you want me to do this? He's doing his job. The armor allowed a real bullet into that.
Well,
gun,
let's put it him. What Rob said. He was the main producer on this movie. This was his movie. So he's responsible for all the production failures. So at bare
Which
minimum,
also means
from
that
top
he's
to
also
bottom,
responsible
That
for
means his
footing the bill of the
production
safety
company,
policy.
his production company would be in trouble from the insurance for it, but not him
Correct.
specifically.
yeah. But then
Correct.
he is also directly responsible in the actual shooting part. So like literally top to bottom of this, he's involved. Not and then
That doesn't make any sense to me. I see what you're saying, but
because
that doesn't make sense to me. If he's a guy with a gun shooting a gun in a movie, he's supposed to pull the fucking trigger and shoot the gun.
yeah,
It's not his
but then
fault
he
that they put a real
also
bullet in there.
yeah, but then again, he also insisted he never pulled the trigger. So
Well, then fine. Let's
so
say he
here's
did
the
pull the trigger.
question.
Then he's in trouble for lying about pulling the trigger, not about killing somebody. I wouldn't be running around telling everybody I pulled a trigger that killed somebody either.
But why wouldn't you admit to everything that happened off the bat and get clear of it instead of lying about it?
That exact.
So why
because
has
it's
he been lying
a
about
dead
that?
body there?
He also said
Look,
he never knew her. Hold on, here's the other
You're-
part. Hold on. Here's the other part of it. He's claimed in interviews he didn't even know her when they went out to dinner. They went out to dinner for production meetings, so he did know her. They have been fighting on set, not to mention all the other problems. It's like, you're going to tell me you don't know the woman who's working one of the, I forgot, I think she was an AD.
Was it him and her going out to dinner, or was it like a whole
No, it was
cast
just him and
crew?
her.
She just happened to be one of the
they went to dinner to discuss things about the movie.
Then I think he's just trying to distance himself from it, because in this day and age, instead of being innocent until you're proven guilty, you're always guilty until you prove yourself innocent, which is not how the judicial system is supposed to work.
And I agree with that.
And that's this day and age that we work in. I would be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know that bitch. That gun
But
shot its fucking self. I was standing over there. I saw a gray alien with big buggy eyes walk over, pull the gun up, and shoot this chick.
I wouldn't be
I'll
surprised
say
if he
all
said that.
kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah.
But exactly, because in this day and age, he's guilty already.
Yeah.
Before he says a single word, he's already guilty.
Yeah.
And then everything he says after that, people go, see, that's why he's guilty.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't say anything, be like, that's why he's not saying anything, because he's guilty.
I think
Do you see what I'm saying?
The main problem with this is almost like what you talked about with Brandon Lee, or Jason Lee. Sorry. I always say Brandon. I mean Jason.
No, it's Brandon Lee.
Oh, that was Jason.
Jason Scott Lee is the guy who played his dad in the Bruce Lee movie.
Oh, okay. Either way.
And Mowgli
So
and
either yeah. Okay. See, I always get them confused. It's just a name thing. Either way. The main thing is, if they hadn't been denying everything from the get-go, had they just said, okay, here's everything we've got, go through it, let's get this settled, this woman died, let's figure out how to take care of this, whatever legal proceedings have to happen. Instead, out there lying or acting weird, or the fact like he did, I mean, I get it, everybody's in shock, but he was like seen on the phone, like very calmly, like after that, talking to someone else. Like right after, like minutes after he shot her, he's just on the phone having a conversation. It's like, you just shot her, right? Like,
and I agree with you.
There should be a shock part.
World.
And I think
we don't
the biggest
live in that world.
Yeah, but I mean, that's been.
If he says nothing, he's guilty, and that's why he's not saying anything.
But
if he says something, he's guilty because he's not saying what you want to hear.
What he should have done, and maybe they did it after they started realizing how much trouble they were in, was
like a PR statement.
PR statement. Don't do any fucking interviews. Sure as fuck, don't be making any declarative statements that can be used against you, and give all evidence to whoever's investigating. Whether, and I guess
at the end of the day, if they got this on camera and they proved that it wasn't him and all that, people are still going to crucify him, because it's going to be, well, then why was he doing all that? In this day and age with everything on the internet, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube videos,
speculation is one thing,
but
speculation is another.
Yeah,
but it's not but in this day and age, that speculation cost you your living.
No, he's right. Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying? Like in this day and age, even if they prove him innocent, if they show the film like that was recorded and they show he was just talking to the director, they show a whole thing where the armor tells him the gun's free and clear. He says it's free and clear, so they got him all following procedure. And he picks up the gun and he shoots it, asking for directions, shoots it a bunch of times. Nothing ever happens. They continue doing the same thing. And then one real bullet's mixed in there. And they go, well, that wasn't on him. Because as you see, chronologically, he followed all the steps. He was just doing his job. So it's 1000% the armor's fault for allowing a real bullet into that gun. He will still be crucified, and his whole entire way of making money will be affected by the fact that we didn't like that he came out and said the gun fired itself. We didn't like the fact that he was on the phone talking to somebody instead of being upset. We don't like the fact that he was saying. So these things will still fuck him in the long run. In this day and age, you don't get away with that kind of stuff. Back before, oh man, I was stressed out. I
to be
slipped
fair,
up and said this. I was
scared.
But to be fair,
when you submit Mel Gibson
Yeah.
To be fair, we submit Mel Gibson.
Tell me
There are
his
other
career is
people
the
we-
same before as it is now.
Dude, yeah, but here's the thing. There are actors that have torpedoed their careers before and come back.
Yeah.
30 years later.
Just like there are
like
comedians
Robert Downey
that have
Jr.
torpedoed
We
their
can use
careers and come
Robert
back.
Downey Jr.
Yeah,
has done it.
but he torpedoed his when he was
had a
young,
resurgence.
not when he was old.
That's my point.
Yeah.
This guy's already old, but
So-
he doesn't have 30 years to have a renaissance.
No,
you know
but
what I mean?
does he really need
Which
the
goes
Renaissance?
back to Shoki's list of "You're done." Which
Yeah, exactly. Alec Baldwin should have been on that list too. So,
Yeah.
but I
That
think
was
I think
2023.
yeah. So I think that ultimately, this movie's never coming out. Let's just be honest here. But I think that, and I know they can't do it in certain ways. The footage should have been dropped almost immediately. Like, look, here's the footage of the event because they shot the camera.
But they can't because it's evidence. So
Well,
they
I know
can't
that, but
release it until after the cops and lawyers have been through it.
So why is it taking so long? Like, that's the thing. It's like,
if I was him, and honestly, I'd want it to take a long time. I don't want this rushed.
No,
you're talking about me killing somebody. I want you to minute detail this motherfucker.
Yeah, but they can minute detail it quickly nowadays. I mean, given some of the stuff that happens and we immediately know every single aspect of it, or we see it from 15 different angles, like, and like, it just, what it's going to come down to is the production crew, the armor, and him are all responsible in one way or another for this happening. He should be
responsible to it from the production side.
I think the other part, well, he's got to be responsible for the pulling the trigger part regardless. Like I said, intent changes all of it, but it's still homicide regardless. It could just be down to 6 months in a light security prison just for the hell of it. Pay out $10-20 million. I think they've already paid something.
It should be a manslaughter more than a homicide. Like, it should be a lower end, like,
no. Well, the thing is, manslaughter is worse. Homicide, it just means a human died. It's like manslaughter has intent into it.
I thought intent made it murder.
Depends on
manslaughter
the level
is accidental.
of intent.
Homicide means you were in a place where you knew you could end up killing somebody, but you didn't do it on purpose. I think murder was you did it on purpose.
We'll look into that. I can't remember.
There's
I could be
wrong on that.
Homicide
I thought
at bare
manslaughter
minimum
was the low end. I thought manslaughter was the very low end.
Well, homicide at its bare minimum just means a human died of something.
Mm-hmm.
So whether it's accidental homicide, whether it's intentional homicide, and if nothing else, it's negligence.
Right.
And negligence does carry some weight because that's how
his production company would fold. He would have to pay out for the insurance. The negligence is on the armor.
I think the last other this wasn't meant to be a bigger topic. This is meant to be.
But it's a good topic though.
I know, but like we've gone way longer than you guys needed.
Yeah, I know.
But
I'm watching the clock. My wife just knocked on it and pointed at her watch.
The last thing is also, I think he said he was blaming the armor publicly, if I remember correctly, saying, well, I was handed the gun. And I think he said he didn't even check the weapon. He just said he just took the gun and was doing the thing. So that's the other part, is if they showed, because you are supposed to clear the weapon yourself to a degree. If he didn't even bother with that, then no, he didn't follow his own safety precautions that he should have done. It was late in the day. They're all tired. Mind you, I believe it was an indoor scene as well. I think it was shot inside a fake church, if I remember correctly. So,
but now when we say clear a weapon, like when you and I are talking to each other and I hand you a gun and I tell you that gun's clear, that means there's no bullets in it and there's nothing in the chamber. Or if they're handing him a gun that has bullets in it, the only thing he could be clearing is by looking down the barrel, making sure there's nothing stuck in there.
Well, it is a revolver.
Other than that, it'll just look like bullets.
Well, yeah. So, but in the revolver, because everybody should have been under the understanding they should be blanks at bare minimum to capture the explosion, even though they don't technically look like it. And nothing else. They should have been dummy rounds so that nothing was firing, because you can pull the trigger, but you're not going to get the actual action proper. So that's usually what they're doing it for. However, most of those safety standards, there shouldn't be anyone remotely in front of that gun as it's being fired. Or if it is, you're shooting it past or at an angle,
like over the shoulder.
Not even that. It should be like some type of bulletproof glass between you and the gun at all times. So in theory, there's a lot of safety precautions that weren't followed. Whoever is responsible for that, ultimately,
they probably cut corners or something like you're talking about.
Well, they already said people were walking off the set. People were getting drunk. People were They were hiring migrants just to come in who didn't even speak English just to fill the day
so it's
out.
very low budget, and they probably weren't following all the rules like they should.
Everything was wrong.
OSHA will shut that shit down.
Yeah, that was the thing. They're just trying to force the movie to get done. They're cutting corners. Regardless, a woman died because somebody didn't do their job right. And whether that's 4 people or 10 people or the one guy who pulled the trigger, either way, someone needs to be held responsible for it, and no one should escape culpability just because they have a fuckload of money. That's the point. And I think that's what we do nowadays. Like, I think ultimately now it's, I've got enough money, we're making this go away. But because we live in the modern day, it doesn't just go away as easy as it used to, because social media is a thing. That what happened can get out there fast enough. You can talk to people so quickly. You can get statements out there minutes after something happens versus 3 days later when you've had time to organize a story and talk to your lawyers and do all this other nonsense. So it's like, I agree, too fast is one thing, too slow is definitely another. But like I said, they've got footage. They know what was happening on the day. Hopefully it's been investigated properly and not just ignored because it was another Hollywood star doing what Hollywood stars do, you know, and just being swept under the rug. That's ultimately what I was getting at. And that's what, you know, the family is still wanting some type of justice, because clearly, other than just getting some money, you know, that's not justice, you know. And yeah, maybe it should change more things about the way Hollywood's done. But also, in the case of Alec Baldwin, he's been in so many movies where he's had weapons training, like, and has had to deal with a quote unquote live gun on set, that there's some things there. Now, if we want to say that he's old and has some inability now, I don't know. He just had a 7th kid. So congratulations on the 7th kid.
I just don't think it's fair to crucify the guy just because he's the main name and the money behind it.
No, they should crucify all of them. Everyone involved should be crucified. I don't care if it's just him.
Yeah. They'll all technically be crucified because they'll all go to jail or they'll end up paying money or something like that.
The question is,
he's the one that it would directly affect.
It's going to be a very big. It's going to be a very large settlement.
If it goes to some form of trial, which this I believe would is this a criminal case? It would have to be a criminal case.
If they're pulling up charges, it's going to trial.
Yeah, it would have to be a criminal case, not a civil case, because it's actually a death involved. So
the civil case would be,
well, no, that's not true.
They can, if he gets off with it, they could sue him for wrongful death in a civil case.
Yeah, so it just depends on which way it goes. So
which is also still available. Even if he gets convicted, he can still get sued for wrongful death.
Yeah.
So this family could still, and they're not going to chase the armorer, because what's the armorer got? $2,500 in their bank account.
Well, it depends.
They're not going to chase her.
No, but
they're not going to chase the prop master. They're going to chase him because he's got millions.
But here's the thing: if she gets convicted due to negligence, she could lose that job.
Understood.
Forever. So I mean, he's going
to lose this acting capabilities forever, possibly.
In theory,
just the same possibly.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is the secondary lawsuits, the loss of life, the wrongful death suits, they're not going to chase anybody but him, because he's the one with the money. So he's going to get super fucked for just doing something dumb by not double checking. That person who actually put a real bullet in a gun and handed it to somebody is just going to lose their job. He's going to lose his job and millions of dollars.
Yeah, but he
They're
has
not going to sue her for her 20.
But you can't.
They're not going to sue her for her $2,500.
Well, that's because you can't get blood from a stone.
You can take all her money too.
If the other people, because then there's certain cases where you can't take what they don't have. So like for instance,
if he has 25 million and she has 2,500, they're not taking her 2,500 and then the rest out of his 25 million. They'll
take what they can from her, but they can't take 25 million from her, and there's no way she'll ever earn that. You know, they'll probably punish for however much money, and then she'll have to go to jail or whatever. I say whoever's involved. Odds are there will be some type of monetary settlement from anyone involved. The production company will more than likely be the one that actually loses the money, not Alec.
That's what the insurance is for.
Yeah.
It should be the production company.
Yeah. But then past that, they can't sue you for what you don't have, and they can't grant what you don't have. People love to think that a jury or a judge can just say, yeah, but people love to think that you can. For instance, like Alex Jones was just told that he has to pay like 50 some odd $1 million to the families. Is like, no, the actual summary judgment can't be that, because one, he doesn't have it. Two, they can't take that much money because the legal limit is 5 million or 6 million. So it's like, yeah, you can say it's going to look good on a headline. have to pay $50 million, except legally, no. So
Yeah.
even if it comes down
But
to
that's
Alec
getting
killed
into the
somebody.
minutia of what it could actually be.
Yeah,
My
but
problem
I'm
is
just saying,
this,
yeah, but he
if they're
has
both
it to
convicted for the
give
same
versus
thing,
her.
but that's not his fault.
But then he should also get
So
more
he should
jail
not
time.
be charged more. Here's the thing: if she has $2,500 and you're taking all that from her, you take $2,500 from him.
Sure.
Because it's the same exact criminal case against two different people. Just because he happens to have more money sitting in the bank doesn't mean you take more from him.
I would also say it, just on the legal sense, it goes down to the level of culpability in the crime.
And to me, the culpable person, the most culpable person would be the person who put a loaded bullet in a fucking gun and handed it to somebody. Regardless of who pulled the trigger from that point forward. Because if she handed it to a prop master and that prop master had $500 in their fucking wallet, they're not chasing that motherfucker for $500. They're still going to go after Alec Baldwin because he's in charge of the production company.
Yeah, but also the
prop
master doesn't handle guns. Armor
I know. Does. I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just using that. But people
people think that they're the same, and they're not.
No, prop masters make the stuff, put it on set, and then they take it away from there. They're not there.
They handle props, not weapons.
I understand.
But most people draw the two things, and it was not a prop gun for those out there. It was never a prop gun. It was always a real gun.
Really, a prop gun. There's no prop guns. There's replica guns and there's guns. That's it. And a replica gun won't have firing capabilities.
A prop gun would not be a functional
no
weapon.
Firing
period.
Pin. It would have the mechanism in there to work.
I forgot the term for it when they block the barrel and all that stuff. There's an actual word for it, but either way, not decommissioned, but there's a word for it. I can't remember what it is.
There'd be no.
Or it would be a plastic gun. So, or rubber gun, actually. They don't use plastic. They use rubber guns. John Wick used a lot of rubber guns.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats.